The following is a presentation of KBEK Sports, local sports.
Past the 25, to the 20, to the 15, he's going to high step into the end zone, touchdown!
Their wide receivers split each side.
He's still going into the end zone.
East Central Minnesota, the action starts now. To bring you the call, here's Ethan Game Day Gilman.
And good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome inside North Branch High School for this afternoon's girls basketball matchup between the North Branch Vikings and the Cloquet Lumberjacks. Thanks so much for tuning in. I am Ethan Game Day Gilman, as the intro said, and I'll be bringing you all the action from this afternoon's game. A section matchup between the Vikings and the Lumberjacks of Cloquet here this afternoon, and talking pregame with the Vikings head coach, Joe Lattimore. A lot of you may recognize his name, especially across our stations, as we have worked with him for a long time. He has been coach in many different sports, and we have been able to work with him for such a long time. It's been so cool to get to know him over the years. He was actually my first ever interview in the sports role at WCMP. First ever interview when he was the head coach at the Rush City Tigers football team. So it was pretty cool. I've got to know him over the years, and he's become an awesome person to know and to be able to work with, and sometimes even alongside in the broadcast booth. But here this afternoon, he is the head coach of the North Branch Vikings. Well, it's a co-op with Rush City still, technically, because they still have a few girls on this team from Rush City, but it's been awesome to get to know him and work with him. But here in this one, it's a section matchup, and as I mentioned, I was talking with him pregame a little bit, and this is an important one. They obviously are going to be a little bit drained because they had a game against Becker last night, so they are coming off a tough game over there last night, but that is no excuse, and he said this is a big one for his team. As we take a look at both these teams coming into this game, starting with the visiting Cloquet Lumberjacks, they sit at 3-3 in the section, and we'll get to why that's important in just a little bit. But they are 7-12 overall. Their offense scores about 54 points per game while giving up 57 points per game. Again, 7-12 overall, 500 in section play. As we take a look at how their season has gone up to this point, they lost their two opening games to Proctor and Hermantown. Those are pretty tough teams. Proctor, a top 5 team in the state right now. Then they beat Esco before losing to Duluth East. Then they beat St. Francis. Then lost 3 in a row to Cromwell Wright, Rockridge, and Hermantown. Then they were able to beat Grand Rapids before the Christmas break. They went into a Christmas tournament up at Cloquet, beating Mesabi East, but falling to Pine City by 1. They came out of that Christmas tournament beating Esco once again before losing to another top 10 team in Pequot Lakes, and then they beat Hibbing, but it was tough from there on out, losing 4 in a row to Crosby, Ironton, that's a top 5 team again, Superior, St. Croix Lutheran, and Proctor. But then they were able to beat Grand Rapids just on Thursday, so they're not coming in super rested. In fact, they had 3 games this week. Today's game is going to be number 3. They had Proctor Tuesday, Grand Rapids Thursday, and now North Branch on Saturday. So they do have the day break in between their games this week, but they're still not coming in on a rested week. This is their 3rd game of the week still, so that could come into play as we go throughout this one. This Cloquet team they've scored over 70 points 3 times this year in their win over Grand Rapids, Esco, and Hibbing. But in their losses, they have struggled to get past that 65, even that 60-point mark. That's kind of when they struggled. Now, they have scored 60 points a few times this year against St. Francis in their win and against St. Croix Lutheran, but that's been pretty much it, other than their other wins where they scored over 70. So it hasn't been easy by any stretch of the imagination. But defensively, it's not been a bad performance either. They're only giving up, 58, 59 points per game. So it's not like their defense is playing terrible. Their defense is actually playing pretty well. Considering the teams that they played against. I mean, you look at the teams they played: Proctor, Crosby, Ironton, Pequot Lakes. You got teams like Hermantown, Rockridge, that they have, Proctor even, that they have actually done a pretty good job against. I mean, you look at the Proctor and Hermantown games, they only allowed Proctor 71 points, Hermantown 60 in their first meeting, then 58 in their second meeting. Rockridge they allowed now 75. That's getting up there. But then Cromwell, right, they only allowed 62 points. I mean, those are top teams in the state, ladies and gentlemen. Pequot Lakes, they allowed 75. Again, that's tough. Crosby Ironton, 92. But considering what Crosby Ironton's done this year to other teams, scoring well over 100 points multiple times this year, that's pretty impressive to hold them under 100. And then Proctor, again, they held under 70 points the last time they played here on Tuesday to 65. That is twice that they have not allowed Proctor over 75 points. Again, that Proctor team is a top 5 team in the state. So for Cloquet, their defense has had some pretty good performances, and again, they'd like it to be a little bit more consistent and get their offense going a little bit more. But this Cloquet team, their defense should not be something to scoff at. They've done a pretty good job all year long of playing really well and really good defensively. And you might be saying, well, they've allowed a lot of points in some of those losses. While yes, that is true, but it could be a lot worse considering those how good those teams are. Again, all those teams that I mentioned, like Proctor, like Hermantown, like Cromwell Wright, Rockridge, Pequot Lakes, who was the Crosby Ironton, those are top 10, top 5 teams, even top 3 teams in the state of Minnesota in their respective classes. So it's not like they're playing, bottom 50 teams and giving up those points. So they're playing top 5, top 3, top 10 teams and doing a pretty darn good job. So I mean, this is not something that you're looking at and going, they're okay. No, they're a pretty darn good team as we continue forward looking at both of these squads here this afternoon. Turning our attention to our North Branch Vikings. They're 3-2 in this section. As I mentioned before, Cloquet is 3-3. Why is that important? Because this matchup is basically for the number 3 seed. And talking pregame with the Vikings head coach, Joe Lattimore, he said, this is an important game, and it could wind up being for the number 3 seed in the section playoffs. He said it's going to be a tough one. It should be a fun one. He's excited for it, but it's basically for the number 3 seed in the section for these two teams because North Branch is 3-2, Cloquet is 3-3, and the winner, well, that they'll have the tiebreaker then. So this is a big game for North Branch on the season, 54 points per game, giving up 53 points per game. They'd like to see that defense be a little bit more consistent and their offense as well. Their offense has the opportunities and the playmakers to score well over 60 points per game, but this year it just hasn't been as consistent as they would like it to be. Looking at their conference standings as of right now, they are 6-4. That would put them in 4th place behind Monticello, who, I mean, they're just so good this year. Then Becker at 9-2, St. Francis at 7-2, North Branch at 6-4. So pretty good teams there in the conference. And I mean, this North Branch team, it started off with a tough loss against Bram, then 2 wins over Duluth Denfeld and Two Rivers, who was a top 10 projected team at the beginning of at the preseason, and they beat them by 2. Now Two Rivers is sitting at 20 currently, but they're still the QRF. I mean, they have a high QRF at 117. Then they lost 2 to Hermantown and Rockridge, but they were closer games. Then they beat Sauk Rapids Rice, Little Falls, and Big Lake before losing to Becker. And that was one where, man, they just couldn't get things going offensively, and it was like, man, that really should have been a different game. Then they went on a nice 5-game win streak against Chisago, Grand Rapids, Cambridge Isani, Zimmerman by 1, and Princeton. They won those 5 games in a row, but then last week losing to Monticello and St. Francis, a game in which they really felt like they should have won. They lost by 5 in that St. Francis game. Now, unfortunately for them, they won't get to play them until the last game of the season. So that'll be one they're certainly looking to play and have a much better outcome because they'll be at home for that game. But as I mentioned, continuing on, it was after those 5 wins, a little bit of a tough stretch, losing to Monticello and St. Francis. Then they beat Big Lake here on Tuesday, and then they lost to Becker just last night. It was a tough one again. We're just couldn't get that offense going. Becker has a pretty darn good defense, though, so got to give them credit for that. But it's certainly a game which North Branch, I think, feels like probably should have won because, again, as I mentioned before, their offense has just been a little bit inconsistent this year. Defensively, they've been pretty darn good, holding to teams to only about 53, 54 points per game. So defensively, they've been pretty stout, but offensively, they're looking for more consistency. They haven't scored over 70 points real often this year. In fact, they've only done it twice in wins over Sauk Rapids, Rice, and Grand Rapids. So for this North Branch team, certainly looking for a little bit more consistency offensively. Defensively, there's no question that they are a very good defense, one of the top defenses in their section, and probably right around that top 15-20 mark in the state. So pretty good place to be defensively, but still trying to find a little bit more offensively that they can see game in and game out. But what better way to get things going here than in the last stretch of the regular season? They will get to host Chisago Lakes in a doubleheader here on Tuesday. I'll be part of that one. That should be a good one. Then they'll play Cambridge Isani next Thursday and at Hibbing next Saturday, so another 3-game week. And, it's conference and section from here on out. Only one section game, and then the rest are pretty much conference games for them. So a big stretch of games coming up for this North Branch team. They've got 8 games left. And again, all of them are section or conference games. So a big last 8-game push here for the North Branch Vikings before the playoffs. And can they find that consistency offensively they're hoping to get? I would assume so. Joe Lattimore's going to have them in a great spot before the playoffs. That is going to do it. As I should mention, that playoffs will start Wednesday, February 26th. For this section. But now that's going to do it for the pregame warm-ups and festivities. We're going to take a commercial break to hear word from our fine sponsors. When we come back, the national anthem will have been played. We'll get our starting lineups, and then we'll be ready for tip-off here on Nice 95.5 FM KBEK.
Resetting your password, unsubscribing from emails, printing anything. Why are simple things sometimes so complicated? Thankfully, with an auto owner's insurance independent agent, getting the right coverage for your business doesn't have to be one of them, so you can get back to more important things, like learning how that printer works. That's simple human sense.
Contact your local auto owner's agency, Pine Insurance Agency at pineagency.us today.
Need a prescription or medication advice? Wellia Health's community pharmacies in Mora and Pine City are open Monday through Friday from 8:30 a.m. to 6 p.m. and on Saturdays from 8 a.m. to 1:30 p.m. Our friendly pharmacists are here to answer your questions and to help with prescription transfers. Call us at Pine City 320-322-5141 or Mora 320-679-3999 or visit welliahealth.org.
Whoa! Better get into the Freeway Holiday Station store in Pine City and start saving. Right now, grab a Meat Lover's burrito or new Ranchero beef and cheese burrito. I want one right now. Wash it down with everyone's favorite Celsius, buy one, get one free. And Holiday still has the $3, $4, $5 meal deals on some of your favorite items. Better get into the Freeway Holiday Station store and save. Open 24/7, 365. The Freeway Holiday Station store in Pine City.
Your journey to smile with your forever starts at Embrace Orthodontics. The team at Embrace is committed to providing world-class care and a remarkable orthodontic experience. Choose between custom Light Force braces or Invisalign clear aligners with locations in Pine City, Lindstrom, and Cambridge, and a plan to fit your budget, whether you have insurance or not. Embrace Orthodontics will make your smile journey comfortable, convenient, and customized just for you. Visit EmbraceMN.com today to find out how to set up your free exam. EmbraceMN.com. Embrace Orthodontics, a smile you will embrace forever.
Are you interested in a technical degree that can quickly help you land your dream career? Or maybe you've always dreamed of going to a four-year college, but you'd like to start close to home. Either way, Pine Technical and Community College has you covered. PTCC offers more than 50 degrees in hot fields like healthcare, information technology, advanced manufacturing, and business. PTCC is now accepting applications. Financial aid may be available. Go online to pine.edu for more information. Pine Technical and Community College, connect with success.
Baseball and softball coaches, are you looking for dry, warm practice time?
Here's the Pitch in North Branch can help. Here's the Pitch offers amazing indoor options for your team.
Offering state-of-the-art pitching machines and batting cages.
And space for you to give instruction without worrying about the weather outside.
Take your athletes to the next level.
Coach up your team during every season or off-season. Affordable practice space for your ball teams.
Make your reservation today.
Call Here's the Pitch today or visit them on Facebook.
Here's the Pitch in North Branch.
Yeah, right here in North Branches, here's the pitch as we get ready for our starting lineups here with the Cloquet Lumberjacks. Starting for them is going to be number 1, Lauren Hughes. Number 3, Sarah Turner. Number 5, Paige Goranson. Number 20, Riley Goranson. And then number 33, Natty Butler. That is the starting lineups for the Cloquet Lumberjacks. They are head coached by Heather Young. And now as we go over to the North Branch Vikings to get their starting lineups, the Vikings will have number 1, Caitlin Lattimore, number 2, Joanna Bartkey, then number 21, Ashley Bistadu, 23, Ella Kuhlman, and 32, Isabella Folkema. As we get ready for tip-off here in this one, the Lumberjacks will wear their white away uniforms. The white uniforms with the purple numbers outlined in black, as well as the purple letters outlined in black. The purple trim on the neck, sleeve, and bottom of the short. The Cloquet Lumberjack logo on each side, or just on the right side of the short, actually, excuse me. For the Vikings, it'll be the red uniforms here this afternoon with the white letters and numbers outlined in black. The black stripe down the side of the jersey in short outlined in white, and then the black and white trim on the neck sleeve as well. As we get ready for tip-off here in this one, Lumberjacks, Vikings going at it in this section game. Section 7-3A. This could wind up being for the number 3 seed in the section playoffs for these two teams. The winner could wind up claiming that number 3 seed. Bartkey and Butler at center court for tip, and it is won by the Vikings. Folkema. Folkema will bring it forward, give it inside, and Bartkey, wide open shot, but just off the mark. Left it a little soft on there, and it will be rebounded by the Lumberjacks. Left open is Hughes for 3. That's going to be off the mark. It's tipped up, and Bartkey going to tip it to her teammate Bistadu for the rebound, and it'll go now to Kuhlman. Kuhlman will bring it up on the near side of the court, shifting to the far side. Gives it off far side to Lattimore. Lattimore looking, holding it over her head. Wanted to go to Bistadu. Instead, is going to drive baseline. Has the shot up, and I think there was a hand on it. It's going to be rebounded by Butler for Cloquet. Up the other way, it's Turner. Turner goes inside, and now a 2 from the free throw line is no good. Kuhlman with the rebound. Kuhlman brings it up again on the near side, then steps back to the middle of the court. Going on the far side now. Wanted to go to Lattimore. That goes in the corner there to Folkema. Folkema will bring it around. Give it up to Bistadu. Bistadu at the North Branch logo. She'll pause, give it to Kuhlman. Kuhlman on this near side elbow. Trying to get around the defender. She got it. Now she'll drive inside, put it up off the glass. It's no good. And the rebound by Turner for the Lumberjacks. Quickly up the court. Left alone. The shot is up and good that time for Butler. And the Lumberjacks are on the board first, 2-0. Kuhlman getting guarded, bothered by Goranson, but she gets the pass inbounded, and now at the elbow trying to get around another defender. She's on the far side, give inside, and a beautiful shot there by Folkema. Beautiful feed from Kuhlman to Folkema, and the Vikings answer with a score of their own. Back the other way, Lumberjacks have it with Butler on that. That is Riley Goranson with the 2 Goransons. I'll just use their first name. Now it's over to Turner, inside to Hughes, outside to Riley for 3. That's going to be no good. Tipped around, and it's going to be Turner with the rebound. Can't allow that to happen. Now pass inside to Riley, but she got fouled, and it will be the first on the Vikings. Bartkey will get the foul call. Riley Goranson is at the line to shoot 2 now. For the Vikings, I believe after this shot, they'll get Maria Damiani in. This one is no good for Riley. Second one is no good as well. Rebounded there by Bartkey. And off to Kuhlman. Kuhlman using those handles to get around one defender. She'll pull up just outside the paint and drop it in for two. Make it 4-2 now. Vikings with the first lead. 15:48 to go. Bringing it up the court. That's Paige Goranson. Now give it up to Riley. Riley at the three-point line, driving inside. Almost lost that ball. Trying the spin move that gives underneath the Hughes. The reverse layup is good. That was a nice-looking reverse layup by Hughes. You got to give credit where it's due, and she deserves it. Inbound will go to Folkema on the far side, and with Kuhlman covered, she'll bring it up on that far sideline. Spin move. Now she'll give it to Kuhlman. Kuhlman waits for the screen, gets around it, but so does the defender. Now Kuhlman using the speed inside. Oh, my goodness. How is that not a foul call? And we're going to get a steal by Turner. And now a travel call, so no harm, no foul on the steal. Yeah, there was a lot of contact there on Kuhlman inside, but no call. Full court pressure being shown by the Lumberjacks. They'll give it in on the far side to Damiani. Damiani up on the far sideline. Using that speed to get by the defender. Takes it herself, nearly lost it. Now finding Folkema. Folkema waiting. Trying to go inside Kuhlman. She gets around the defender and lays it up and in for two. Good job by Folkema noticing Kuhlman wide open. Kuhlman did the rest. 6-4 on that Embrace Orthodontic scoreboard. Vikings with the lead. Just under 15 minutes left in the first half. Shot is up, no good. Rebounded by Folkema. And now Kuhlman racing up the court. Turns on the Jets. Has to stop as she's double teamed. In the paint now. And a beautiful feed from Kuhlman to Folkema to make it 8-4. Now Hughes with it on the far side. Trying to pass it over on the... Trying to go across the court. We're going to get a foul. It would have been a steal. Yes, they're going to get Damiani for the foul. Didn't quite see it from my angle. Lumberjacks will get a sub. Number 10 checking into the game. That's Isabella Bridge. Bridge into the game, and they'll go top of the key to Paige Goranson. Paige with it. Getting a screen from Hughes, but Damiani's on the far side to guard. Damiani, that ball up for grabs, still up for grabs, and Folkema gets the steal. And she'll get the breakout pass to Kuhlman. Well, not quite a breakout pass, but Kuhlman trying to use it as a breakout pass. She's going to get inside, off the glass, and in for two. Kuhlman drops it in to make it 10-4. Hughes with it now on the far side for Cloquet. Cloquet will slow things down a little bit on the far side. She's directing traffic, gives it to Paige. Paige left alone for three, but she waits for the defense to catch up. Now gives it inside to Bridge. Now in the paint to Butler. Butler with a hand on it is able to drop it in for two. 10-6. Vikings still lead. Damiani on the far side. Waits, tries to go to Kuhlman. Kuhlman has to tip it back to herself on the far side corner. Keeps it alive and out of bounds, or out from going out of bounds. Now they'll give, trying to go inside here to Bartkey. Then they'll go to Folkema on the far side. Folkema to Kuhlman on the near side. Bistadu for three! Ashley Bistadu for three, make it 13-6. And that's their first long-range shot of the evening, and they make it, well, afternoon. Damiani guarding Hughes on the far side. Hughes trying to find somewhere to go with it. Now she finds Turner. Turner going inside. That shot is long, and Damiani is going to grab the rebound. Damiani gives to Kuhlman. Kuhlman not guarded. She's going to bring it up the court easily. Stops right at that North Branch logo. Trying to get around, look for a screen. And Bartkey waiting there at the top of the key. Instead, she'll go to Damiani on the far side corner. That's going to come up short off the front of the rim. Rebounded there by Butler. Butler will give up to Hughes. Hughes trying to use the spin move, but nothing doing on the spin move that time. And then she'll give over on the far side here to Turner for three. That's going to be no good. And, ooh, no whistle, surprisingly. They're going to get Butler for two on the rebound. Surprised we didn't get a jump ball call there, but they're going to let them battle here early on. So it's 13-8. Kuhlman with it, trying to get a screen from Bartkey. Bartkey trying to get on two players. Now she drives inside. That pass just a little too soft, and then somehow tipped by Butler, and it hits the backboard. It's going to wind up being a steal. That one was going out of bounds, but the backboard came out of absolutely nowhere to help her out. Hughes on the far side trying to go inside to Butler. This one nearly stolen away by Bartkey. And Bartkey frustrated with that call, trying to force a jump ball, but they're going to get the foul instead. Bartkey will get her second. It's the team's third. Checking in is Caitlin Lattimore, along with number 22, Annabelle Lattimore. Oh, wide open for three. And it's Paige Garanson. 13-11. Quickly up the court, Caitlin Lattimore found a way behind the defense, and Kuhlman with a great breakout pass to find her. They get back on the board and answer. Driving in, Hughes gets around the defense, can't allow that. And Hughes is going to drop it in for two, 15-13. Lumberjacks are going to call the timeout. It'll be their first. And it'll be a 30-second timeout for the Lumberjacks. We'll keep it here. 15-13 is our score. The Vikings have the lead. They were up and looked like to be pulling away, but since then the Lumberjacks have hit a few good shots, have drawn some fouls, and found some open shots from three that they have got to fall themselves. Paige Garanson got it to fall, and then Hughes got around the defense. It was one where for Hughes, it's just one you can't really allow. She got around one defender, then you had another defender in the paint, but to be fair, that was a smart play by the Vikings, because if they would have stepped out, probably would have drew the foul. So just doing the smart play. Coming out of timeout, it will be Vikings ball. Inbound from Folkema to Kuhlman, and Kuhlman's got numbers. 3-on-2. Damiani goes back underneath the basket for Annabelle Lattimore, and she drops it in for two. Great job by the Vikings. Take advantage of the numbers they had in the front court, leaving Cloquet behind. On the far side now for three. Ooh, a nice shot by Riley Garanson. And the Vikings cannot leave these shooters open from three. They're going to have to start getting some pressure and getting their transition defense moving. Inside to Damiani. That ball was knocked around, and it's going to wind up being a steal for Hughes as they tried to keep it alive, but it was heading towards out of bounds. That shot no good. A Folkema rebound for the Vikings. She's going to bring it up the court. She's got Lattimore underneath the basket. Instead, she's going to take it herself. We're going to get a foul now on Cloquet. It'll be their first. First for Cloquet, and Natty Butler will get the foul call on her. Kuhlman will get set to inbound. Patiently waiting. Now she's going to have to get it in. She does to Damiani on the near side corner. Damiani trying to drive. Had a little bit of room. That ball nearly stolen away, but Damiani being a good teammate's there. And she gets it off the glass and in for two. 19-16, Vikings with the lead. Back the other way, it's Riley Garanson with it. Getting pressured, though, and then gives it off to Bridge. Bridge trying to direct traffic, trying to go in the paint now to Butler. That's no good. Rebound is up for grabs. She's on the boundary line. She's on the baseline. That should be Viking ball. It is. Bridge got the rebound, but she was out of bounds as she picked it up, and it's going to go back to the Vikings. Checking in for the first time for the Lumberjacks is 32, Courtney Kavanaugh. Vikings will inbound again. A little bit of full court pressure put on here by the Lumberjacks, but Kuhlman gets around the defender using some nice ball handling skills. Now she'll look, wait for the offense to get set. She'll drive, give it over to Folkema. Folkema inside and drops it in for two. Bella Folkema, another good feed there from Kuhlman, and Folkema strong inside to drop that one in for two. 21-16 on that Brace Orthodontic scoreboard. Vikings with the lead. Up the other way, Turner with it, trying to give it to Kavanaugh. Kavanaugh guarded well, now outside to Bridge for three. That's going to be coming up short. Damiani there for their good box out and rebound. Kuhlman with it. She allows the offense to get in front of her, almost like blockers. Then she'll pull up from three. That's going to come up just short, and Bridge is going to get the rebound for Cloquet. Bridge will give it off now on the near side. Garanson, that's Riley Garanson. Riley guarded by Lattimore, trying to go inside to Hughes. The reverse layup well long, and that is going to be rebounded by Kuhlman. Kuhlman up on the near side. She's got, well, she had numbers, but the defense gets back well for Cloquet. Kuhlman getting around one. Now inside, shot is up, no good, but she's fouled. She'll go to line and shoot two. Second team foul on Cloquet. And we'll see who this one's on. I think they got Bridge. Her first, team second, and Kuhlman at the line to shoot 2. First one's up and good. 22-16. Bistadu back in for Folkema. And Kuhlman is good on both. 23-16. Vikings back up to that 7-point lead. Hughes trying to go inside quickly. Nearly stolen away by the Vikings. Back out to Hughes. Hughes has it, gives it near side to Bridge. Bridge had it go out of her hands, now inside. That ball was up for grabs. Hughes trying to get it, but it was last touch out of bounds by North Branch. But the Vikings defense getting a little bit more aggressive inside, and they're starting to kind of read what the Lumberjacks are doing offensively. And Hughes tries to throw it in off the defender. It's going to wind up not working out in her favor. We got a few Vikings players going after it. Now you're going to get a jump ball call, and the Vikings will actually give it up to Cloquet. As good as a turnover there. So Cloquet will hold on to it. Hughes trying inbound. Give it up, and this ball tipped away. Lattimore trying to race after it, but the offensive player, she got there in time, so Lattimore just let her get it and then went on defense. Hughes gets around one. Shot is up, and Hughes, that's just a good play by Hughes to get that one to fall. 23-18, Vikings still with the lead. It's Damiani showing off the athleticism here. Gets around the defender, gives it over to Kuhlman. Kuhlman gets by one. That ball is knocked out of her hands. It's going to stay with the Vikings. And Kuhlman will get set to inbound on the baseline. Nope. Instead it'll be Bistadu. Bistadu will ready. She'll be patient. Gets Kuhlman on the far side. Quick three, and that one's going to be no good. Rebounded here by Butler. Butler has 5 rebounds already for the Lumberjacks. It's Riley on the far side. Gives it to Hughes. Hughes driving baseline. Oh, and gotta have better defense as Hughes drove to the basket and got the shot to fall, and Lattimore did all she could to try and make her miss, but Hughes is in and try and get the and one. It's 23-20. Caitlin Lattimore with her first, team's 4th. Folkema in for Annabelle Lattimore. Paige Garanson in for Turner, and Hughes trying to get a 3-point play. And Hughes is no good. Lattimore got the rebound. Probably could have had a over-the-back call, but not going to get it that time. It's a 2 opportunity there from Kuhlman. That's going to wind up short. Kavanaugh with the rebound. Still 23-20. Hughes with it. Gives it up to Kavanaugh. That's no good, and Kuhlman inside grabs the rebound. Rebound for the Vikings. Kuhlman with it, under 8 minutes to go. Gives it over to Bistadu. Bistadu on the far side for Folkema. Folkema trying to go and get back to the top of the key. Oh, that one read like a book by Paige Garanson, and she'll drop it in for 2 off the steal. That is what you can't have if you're the Vikings. 23-22 now. Kuhlman on the near side working on Hughes. It's been a good battle, and that one's good from 3 from Kuhlman, and she makes it look easy. 26-22. Up the court quickly, though, come the Lumberjacks, and that ball is no good. Up for grabs, and somehow Butler is going to come up with it. Now we get a foul call on the Vikings. This one, I think, going to get Bistadu. 5 fouls now for the Vikings and 2 shots for Riley Garanson. First one is no good. Bartkey back in for Caitlin Lattimore. So no good on the first one for Riley Garanson. Second one is up, no good as well, and Bistadu will get the rebound. Bistadu on this near side trying to get around the defender. She'll give it to Kuhlman, who shimmy shakes the defender inside. She'll give off there to Folkema. A little too strong on that one. And Folkema trying to get the rebound. And unfortunately, she'll wind up getting the foul. Butler wound up stealing it away, but she couldn't grab full hold of it. And That's their 16th foul, first for Folkema. Subs here for Cloquet, and they'll get set to inbound it on the east baseline. Cloquet going right to left on your radio dial. Vikings left to right. Here comes Hughes with it. Hughes goes inside, nearly stolen away. Great job by Bartkey, and now could have had a travel call there, but instead of foul on Bartkey. And unfortunately, that'll be her third. So Bartkey is going to have to wind up sitting the rest of the first half with 3 fouls. She's a key player you cannot have out of the game. So Caitlin Lattimore will go back in for Bartkey. And at the line for a 1-on-1 is Riley Goranson. First one's good. 26-23. Second one from Goranson winds up rattling through. So it's 26-24. Vikings still lead here in this game on that Embrace Orthodontic scoreboard with 6:35 to go here in the first half. Ella Kuhlman on the far side. Damiani, 3 just off the mark. Caitlin Lattimore, jump ball, and Lattimore battling there. Jump ball will be Vikings. But now we're having a discussion between the refs right about where that ball was grabbed. I think they're going to get a foul there on Cloquet. So they're going to get Riley Goranson with her first foul, team's third. Cloquet coach does not agree. She said she tied up cleanly. I don't know. Lattimore nearly lost it, somehow got it out to Damiani. Now Damiani with it gives it over to Bistadu. Bistadu, top of the key to Kuhlman. A long 3. It's just off the mark and rebounded by Butler. Right now, the second chance opportunities for the Vikings just not there. They're trying to get back on transition defense, but Hughes a long 3, and she's no good. And rebound, Damiani. Right now, the Vikings need to get a few more rebounds, get things going right now. It's just not going the way they need. And Kuhlman, at a bad angle, still got that one to drop in for 2. Thanks to her speed getting around the defender. Shot is up and no good. They're going to get a foul here, I think, either on Folkema or Lattimore. They're going to get Lattimore. Her second. Team's 8th. 2 now for Natty Butler. Looks like a slick spot out there on the court. Got it figured out. Butler, her first of 2. First one's no good. Annabelle Lattimore will check in for Caitlin. Bridge is in for Turner on the Cloquet side. This one no good as well. Kuhlman will get the rebound. So Kuhlman bringing it up the court on the near side. Give to Bistadu, trying to go inside to Annabelle Lattimore, but it's knocked out of bounds. Apparently just off the fingertips of Annabelle Lattimore. So Hughes will bring it up now for Cloquet with 5:35 to go. Hard to imagine it's only been a minute game time since we talked about the time last. Bridge with it now on the pass. Give over on the far side to Hughes. Now Hughes drives baseline. Hits this one up, and it's no good. That should be, oh, they're going to say it's out of bounds. Last touch by the Vikings. It will stay with Cloquet. Three here from Butler. That's going to, oh, you can't ask for a better bounce on the other side. I mean, that's just a super good bounce. You couldn't wish for one. Now we're going to get a foul here again. This on Riley Goranson. Her second, team's 4th. So we'll come in for Cloquet. It's Going to be Kavanaugh for Riley Goranson. So Bistidu will now inbound for the Vikings. Bistidu looking, trying to find Kuhlman. She'll give it to Kuhlman on the near side just in time. Kuhlman will take an off-balance three. It's no good. Kavanaugh will get the rebound for Cloquet. 28-27, under 5 minutes to go. Hughes with it on the far side. She's been getting that edge, and there she goes again on the baseline. This time, Annabelle Lattimore is there, and Annabelle Lattimore says absolutely not. Ball is now up for grabs. You get a whistle. Jump ball, but possession arrow favors the Vikings. Battle for that ball on the baseline there between three players. Vikings wind up getting the benefit of the possession arrow. Folkema will inbound. She'll go to Damiani as Kuhlman was doubled on the near side. Folkema will take it up, give it up to Damiani. Damiani now get a little bit of an edge. She'll give it back to Folkema for three, just off the mark. Rebounded by Butler. She'll give it up to Hughes. Hughes trying to get around, but the travel, and they'll get the travel call. Hughes trying to get on Folkema, and Folkema absolutely shut the door on that Hughes drive to the basket. Bistidu provided some pressure as well. Great job there by the Vikings to absolutely shut that play down. Hughes, that's kind of been her bread and butter all afternoon, but that time it was shut down. With it now is Kuhlman, and she'll just take the shot over the defender and say, all right, well, you're giving me a little bit of space. I'm going to take that shot. 30-27. Hughes will give it up the court to Bridge now. Bridge on this near side, give back to Hughes. Hughes will go across the court to, that was Paige Goranson. Paige with it. Ooh, a really soft foul call there on Folkema. That, got to let him play a little bit. That's going to be her second, the team's ninth, and unfortunately that will put Kavanaugh at the line for a 1-and-1. Kavanaugh's good on the first. So 30-28. Kavanaugh good on both. So that will keep it a 1-point difference, 30-29. Inbound to Damiani. She'll go back to Folkema, and this one off the mark. It goes behind Folkema. Folkema coming up to Damiani saying, hey, that's all right, but next time we got to look elsewhere on that pass. Turnover, and this could give Cloquet their first lead since, well, the 16:45 mark of this first half. It has been 13 minutes of a Viking lead. Inside, Damiani, good defense, but Butler gets it up and over for two. It's 31-30 now. Cloquet has the lead back since 13 minutes. Kuhlman tries to go inside. That should stay with the Vikings at will. It's knocked out of bounds by Bridge. Kuhlman will get set to inbound. 3:37 to go on that Brace Orthodontic scoreboard. Vikings trail by 1. Kuhlman inbound to Damiani. Damiani looking, trying to figure out where to go with it. She gives it to Kuhlman in the near side corner. Kuhlman will go all the way across the court to Folkema. She fakes the shot, now drives inside. That ball is up for grabs. Folkema lost it. And it will be grabbed away by Kavanaugh for the steal. Cloquet coming back up the other way. They'll give it to Paige. This ball nearly stolen away. Bridge will put up a shot, maybe a little bit ill-advised. Kuhlman, no. It's going to be a jump ball as Cloquet tied it up, and the possession arrow favors the purple and white. So they will get to inbound now. Vikings will have to stay on defense. Hughes will get set to inbound. Hughes off the defender's back again. Tries to drop it in for two. She does. Sooner than later, Vikings just got to turn around and say, all right, if you're going to throw it off my back, I'll just take it away. Inbound to Damiani from Kuhlman. And gives it off to Kuhlman now. Kuhlman along three, no good. Trying to get the rebound, but Vikings just can't get there. It's Paige Goranson there. 33-30. On the far side, Kavanaugh with it for Cloquet. Trying to get it over to Paige Goranson. Now inside to Hughes. Hughes gives it to Bridge. Back to Hughes. Hughes will give it over on the far side to Paige. inside, and that ball nearly stolen away by the Vikings. Folcom is going to be knocked out of bounds. It will stay with Cloquet. Good job there by Folcom to get her hands on it. And now we're going to get a timeout called here by Cloquet. That'll be their second. They'll be left with 3. So a timeout called by Cloquet. It'll be a full timeout. Well, they take one. We'll take one as well. You're listening to basketball on KBEK.
Brad here from Lee's Pro Shop in Pine City. We're a full-service lettering shop with a full line of athletic supplies for any sport. We have professional staff here at Lee's Pro Shop to customize your orders. We are the pros who specialize in athletic apparel and equipment. We even do trophies and awards as well as computerized engraving in the store. Let Lee's Pro Shop help you with any athletic apparel. Lee's Pro Shop, servicing our communities since 1973, where the passion for sports begins.
The mushroom melt is back at A&W. How does this sound? Sautéed seasoned mushrooms and onions with melted Swiss cheese on your choice of a juicy burger or grilled chicken. Then add golden French fries and a medium soft drink. It's the mushroom melt and fries combo at A&W. Now, top it off with a classic A&W root beer float featuring vanilla soft serve and made fresh root beer, all in a frosty mug. Or how about the A&W root beer freeze? Signature combos and delicious treats always at your local A&W restaurant in Pine City.
Back here on Nice 95.5 FM KBEK will be Cloquet ball out of the timeout. 2:25 to go on that Embrace Orthodontic scoreboard. Vikings down by 3. Inbound quickly to Kavanaugh. No jump ball call. Probably could have got one there, and then this ball is up and no good. And rebounded by Bistadu. Bistadu will give it up. Kuhlman trying to break it out, but Cloquet just gets back so quickly in their transition defense. Gets a screen from Annabelle Lattimore. Gives it over Bistadu. Bistadu wanted to go Damiani. Damiani will cut to the basket. Now Bistadu trying to find somewhere to go with it. She's going to hand it off Folcom. Folcom trying to dribble near side. She'll give it off to Kuhlman. Kuhlman with 3. That's going to be long. And Cloquet is going to get the rebound. Butler nearly at 10, if not at 10 right now with those rebounds. Bring it up the other way. That's Hughes. Hughes guarded by Bistadu. Got to watch out for that baseline drive. She gives it over to Bridge. Bridge, it's one defender to jump, and her shot is no good. And rebounded by Butler. Her shot's no good. Rebounded by, I think that was Kavanaugh. And then this ball's going to be knocked out of bounds by Cloquet. It will go back to North Branch. 1:27 to go in this first half. Folcom getting set to Immo. Before that, we get a sub for Cloquet. Folcom will try and inbound. She'll give it to Damiani. That's going to be knocked out of bounds by Folcom, or by the Cloquet Lumberjacks again. Pretty aggressive defense by Cloquet. Surprised we haven't got a call. Pretty physical game here for the Vikings. They'll inbound to Folcom. Folcom gives to Kuhlman. Then Kuhlman trying to drive near side. She's working on Hughes. Hughes been having a tough task all afternoon. Now they try to give it in to Folcom. That ball was tipped out by Butler, and we left the gym. 1:13 to go. It'll be an inbound for North Branch. Kuhlman. Kuhlman will go to Folcom. A lob, but it's too far. Going to be stolen away by Butler. Butler there. Blocked from behind, though, by Folcom. And it's stolen away by the Vikings. And the shot there by Kuhlman, no good, but rebounded by her teammate Bistadu. And now another one off balance. That's no good. Hughes going to get the rebound, and foul here on Folcom. And unfortunately, just too physical. Folcom will get her third, and now she'll have to sit the rest of the first half, which isn't long, under a minute. So, but still, Hughes will now go to the line and shoot 2. That one no good by Hughes. Kaylin Lattimore will check in for Folcom. Hughes' shot is up and good. So 1-2 that trip. It's now 34-30. Vikings down by 4. Kuhlman with it, trying to get a screen, but goes the opposite side of the screen. Now gives Damiani on the far side. A 3 is up and good. Wow, the Vikings needed that. It had been a scoring drought up to that point, but Damiani absolutely drilled it. Hughes trying to be a playmaker, gets around Bistido. Now inside, gives outside to Turner. Turner for 3. That's what you can't have. They left her wide open, and we've seen that all afternoon so far. If you're going to leave one of their players wide open, they're going to take a 3 and hit it anyways. This ball stolen away, trying to get it to Damiani in the near side corner, but Paige Goranson with the steal. She's going to set and try and take the last shot of the half. And the Vikings can't afford to be too aggressive. They got too many players with fouls. Oh, my goodness. Oh, you got to let them play a little bit more than that, and they're going to get a foul on Bistadu, her second. So Hughes is now going to take 2. First one is no good. Now, what happened there is they called her for a push, but she just put her hands on Hughes, and she didn't push. She just had her hands on her, trying to keep up with her. This one's going to wind up being good, so 1-2 again for Hughes. 38-33. Only a little time to shoot. Caitlin Lattimore squares this one up, and no good. And that will be it for the first half of play. Well, a half that was honestly dominated by the Vikings early on, but the Lumberjacks just need only 6 minutes to take a lead and come into halftime with the lead. 38-33, so bring us to halftime, and the Vikings trail on that Embrace Orthodontics scoreboard. 38-33. We'll take commercial break. We'll come back and recap this first half of action here on Nice 95.5 FM KBEK.
Dale's Heating and Appliance, your local heating and appliance expert, is committed to making your family's comfort their top priority. And now you can add water softeners to their list of expertise. Dale's now offers water softener sales or rentals along with installation, service, and salt delivery. So if your home needs quality water, make the call to your already trusted experts at Dale's, or just visit dalesheatingandappliance.com. dalesheatingandappliance.com.
Need reliable energy? Burnett Dairy Cooperative has you covered with top quality propane services. Whether you're heating your home, running your business, or firing up the grill, our propane is safe, efficient, and always dependable. Choose Burnett Dairy Cooperative Propane, your trusted partner for all things energy. Stay warm, stay powered, stay local.
Loading the kids in the car, brokering peace in the back seat, mastering the snack handoff without even looking. Why are simple things sometimes so complicated? Thankfully, with auto owners, insurance doesn't have to be one of them. We work with independent agents who keep insurance simple, so you can worry about more important things, like figuring out what's growing in that cup holder. That's simple human sense.
Contact your local auto owner's agency, Pine Insurance Agency, at pineagency.us today.
Arrowhead Transit, your community, your ride. Arrowhead Transit is proud to support this station and bring you reliable public transportation in your community. Whether you need to get to work, school, or the doctor's office, our friendly drivers and comfortable buses are here to serve you. We're committed to connecting communities and making transportation accessible for everyone. Arrowhead Transit is your community partner in getting around. Arrowhead Transit is a supporting sponsor of the station and is dedicated to supporting our local communities.
Are you ready to get back to doing what you love? Whether it's recovering from an injury or preventing one, Wellia Health Sports Medicine Team is here to help. From kids to adults, we specialize in treating sports injuries, including concussions. We're here to get you back to peak performance. Call us today at 320-679-1313 or schedule an appointment through MyChart. Visit welliahealth.org.
Back here on Nice 95.5 FM, KBEK. Vikings trail at half, 38-33. Taking a look at some of our first half stats for the Lumberjacks. Leading the way was Lauren Hughes with 12, and Natty Butler with 11. 5 for both Paige and Riley Goranson. 3 then for Sarah Turner and 2 for Courtney Kavanaugh. Butler led the team with 10 rebounds in that first half. They had 7 steals. They were 6 of 15 from that free throw line, so something that maybe the Vikings didn't capitalize on in the second half, and they had 14 fouls. On the other side for the Vikings, leading the way was Ella Kuhlman with 15, 6 for Bella Folkman, 5 for Damiani, then 3 for Bistadu, 2 for Caitlin Lattimore and Annabelle Lattimore. They had 4 rebounds from Bistadu and Kuhlman to lead the team, 2 steals, 1 block. They were 2 of 2 from the free throw line. Both came from Kuhlman, and they had 11 team fouls. Now, unfortunately, they picked up a lot of fouls with their starters. Both Joanna Bartkey and Bella Folkman each have 3. Caitlin Lattimore and Ashley Bistadu each have 2. So that's going to be something we got to watch out for here in the second half. Not so much too aggressive defensively from North Branch. It's just some of the calls were a little bit soft, I thought, in my opinion. Again, every referee is going to call the game different. Some will let them be a lot more physical. Some will call it real close. I thought they should have let them play a little bit more, especially since these two teams are even getting a little chippy there in the first half. But still, I thought maybe let them play a little bit more, let them battle and go at it. But both teams got to deal with it. So for North Branch, again, it's just something they're going to have to deal with and something they'll have to fix here at halftime. But, again, I think they need to be a little bit more aggressive offensively. I think they need to try and work that ball inside, which, to be fair, now they have, but they're trying to work that perimeter shot a little bit more here in this first half. And I think to try and get the Lumberjacks to foul a little bit more, I think they need to get more balls inside for their team. You've got, of course, Folkema and Bartkey, who are so strong inside the paint, and if you get it to them inside, man, they can do some damage. But you got to give Cloquet credit. Cloquet has Cloquet has been doing a good job of getting inside the paint and not allowing the ball to go to Folkema or Bartkey. So they're doing a good job of guarding the paint and not allowing the Vikings to drop that ball inside to either Bartkey or Folkema. So Cloquet's, they haven't been doubling a ton, but when they do, Kuhlman or someone else is just getting in trouble and they're trying to get a ball over to someone, and right now they're just not putting enough oomph on it. Or, in my opinion, you got to start drawing fouls. You just got to start drawing fouls on Cloquet, because at some point you're going to have to get to the free throw line. You're 2 of 2 right now. And if you can't get Kuhlman to the free throw line more, we know she's pretty automatic from there. This team is actually pretty good from the free throw line, so I think for North Branch, they need to try and work the ball inside a little bit more to Bartkey and Folkman, and then draw some more fouls, because eventually they're going to get those fouls drawn. You're going to get, Cloquet to draw more fouls, and you're going to wind up getting them into some foul trouble. And we've seen the Vikings have been able to do that here and get teams into foul trouble early on, and that will just put you to the line a lot more often, or a lot more early and a lot more often. So I think that's one thing they need to try and do, is get that ball inside a little bit more, draw some more pressure inside from Cloquet, and draw more fouls. But then, what that's going to do is, if you start to get them to drop, if you start to get that ball inside and get Bartkey and Folkema, even Kuhlman, for Pete's sake, inside, maybe even Lattimore too, Caitlin Lattimore, both Lattimores, you're going to wind up finding more shots outside on the perimeter like they have wanted to here this afternoon. Now they've only got 3 threes to fall, 1 from Bistado, Kuhlman, and Damiani, but that's something they want to get going a little bit more here in this game. So I think for them, work that ball inside a little bit more, get it to Bartkey and Folkema, and let them draw those defenders in, because Cloquet's doing a really good job. They know that's where North Branch wants to go with it, so they're guarding inside really well. But I think if you can get it to them a little bit earlier on in the play inside, you're going to draw so much attention inside that you're going to have 1 to 2 players open outside, because what they're doing is they're noticing, hey, they're getting the ball inside, and then they'll crash the paint with 2 or 3 players and guard that one player. That leaves 2 to 3 players open and wide open from the perimeter. So I say North Branch needs to try and get that ball inside so they can work it back outside. Now defensively, I don't want to say it's a lack of effort. Maybe they're just a little bit tired, but unfortunately they are just not getting to their defensive spots quick enough. It's just not happening, unfortunately, right now for North Branch. And again, I don't know if they're just tired. I don't know if it's just they don't know where they're supposed to be at a certain time, but right now, unfortunately, their defense is just not getting to their spots, and that is leading to way too many Cloquet points and way too many opportunities for them to drive inside. And we've seen a lot. Hughes working on that far side. She'll get that step around the defender, and nobody's stepping down to take a charge. Nobody's stepping down on the baseline to take and try and make a block for North Branch. Obviously, Lattimore will tell them that, and he'll get that fixed. But in that first half, they had about what felt like 10 times a drive where Hughes or one of their other quicker players would get a step around the defender, drive baseline, and nobody would be there to step in the way, and they would get an easy two. So for North Branch, that'll be something that they work on here in the second half. They're also going to say, hey, Hughes is just throwing it off the back when she's getting an inbound. Turn around, steal that ball, get it back going the other way. But that's really small thing. But for North Branch, defensively, they just got to get back defensively a little bit quicker and work on getting to their spots quicker. One thing I also want to see North Branch do better here in the second half is rebounds. They have not been able to grab that many rebounds or as many rebounds as they would like there in the first half. So I would like to see them work on getting more rebounds here in the second half, get themselves second chance scoring opportunities, and don't allow Cloquet to get those second chance scoring opportunities either. We're going to get one more commercial break, then we'll be back for the second half of action here on Nice 95.5 KBEK.
A Lennox air source heat pump is a high-efficiency air conditioning unit that can also heat your home or business during the spring and fall. It's more economical than heating with propane. Have Dale's Heating and Appliance install your Lennox air source heat pump. Ask Dale's how you can receive up to $1,000 in rebates for your air source heat pump system. And ductless mini splits also qualify for up to $1,000. Visit dalesheatingandappliance.com. Conditions apply. See dealer for details.
I want to thank all of you who have tuned in here this afternoon for this girls basketball game between the Cloquet Lumberjacks and North Branch Vikings. It's a section matchup for both of these teams, an important one because the winner of this one could wind up getting the number 3 seed because of the tiebreaker between these two. So a very important matchup here for these two teams in this afternoon's game. Again, winner could wind up securing the number 3 seed in the section playoffs and getting a home game. So all the importance coming down in this one. Vikings will start with it. They'll go right to left on your radio dial. Cloquet left to right. Lattimore will get the inbound from Folkema. They'll go inside to Kuhlman, trying to get it inside, and Kuhlman lost it. And she's upset with herself on that one. It'll be stolen away by Paige Garanson. Now they'll give it over to Garanson from Hughes, now in the near side corner, trying to drive baseline. But there comes Folkema, and that is exactly what they missed in the first half. And Kuhlman's going to wind up getting the steal. Already an improvement there. Kuhlman with a quick 2. It's good. And that is exactly what you need. 38-35 now. Vikings getting exactly what they needed early on here. Let's see if they can continue to do that throughout the second half. Now inside, they'll give it off to Butler, to Riley Garanson, that one. And, a risky rebound there by Bistadu, but she winds up getting it and giving it in to Kuhlman. Great job. Great effort, too, by Bistadu. Now you got Kuhlman driving inside. Shot is just off the mark and rebounded by Riley Garanson. That's a good drive, though, by Kuhlman, and that's exactly what I said I thought they needed to do. But Hughes, again, on that baseline, gets that drive, and she drops it in for 2. That is what they missed in the first half, and unfortunately Hughes gets them to miss here early on in half number 2. Barkey was being held by the defender trying to give it a screen and no call. Butler gets the rebound, but Barkey was being held trying to give a screen. There was no call, and there should have been. Inside, and, well, they find Paige Garanson open for 2. Again, the Vikings just not getting to their defensive spots in time. I'm still crazed at the fact that Barkey was being held trying to get a screen. Caitlin Lattimore will give it over to Bistadu. She's looking, trying to find somewhere to go with it. Inside to Folkema. Beautiful feed from Bistadu to Folkema. And she drops it in for 2. That is you can't ask for much better than this pass up ahead, trying to get it to Butler. That's well out in front. It's going to go out of bounds and now back to the Vikings. Vikings need to try and force some more turnovers. Here comes Kuhlman up the court, and, well, that's, I guess you force one on yourselves. That time Kuhlman really upset with herself that time, and she just kind of got too much power on that dribble, and it went well out in front of her. And I think we got a steal on a foul, on Kuhlman. Her first, team's first of the second half. Paige Garanson will take it up the court. She'll give it over to Hughes. Hughes waiting. She'll give it back on the far side. Butler now to Riley Garanson. Back to Hughes. Hughes lost it and holds on to it. Turner now on the near side. Looking, gives it back. Top key to Riley Garanson. Now over to Hughes. Hughes thought about three. Thought about getting around Bistadu, but that shot from three is no good. Bistadu with the rebound, or excuse me, that's Folkema with the rebound. Give to Kuhlman. Now on the near side, Lattimore. Lattimore looking, being patient, wanting to go inside to Kuhlman. Kuhlman back outside. Bistadu for three. A line drive shot is no good. And Hughes will grab the rebound. Hughes drive inside, split two defenders, but they're going to get a foul here on the Vikings, and Kuhlman is not pleased, and it will be on Caitlin Lattimore. They're her third, team second. Hughes will inbound on the near side to Butler. She'll give it right. No, she faked the give, and now tries a spin move, gives it out on the far side. Paige Garanson for three. That's going to come up well short, and Folkema, good box out, gets the rebound. Kuhlman on the far side. Driving on Hughes. Stops. Looking for a screen from Bartkey, but the defender's there. They wanted to go inside. This pass too strong for Bistadu. Maybe a tad off the mark. It goes out of bounds. Vikings' confidence right now is taking a hit, and they certainly need to get something going because you can see the team just hang their heads a little bit. So that confidence taking a hit with some of the early fouls and some of the shots that they've allowed. Give now to Butler, now over to Riley Garanson. Riley back over on the far side to Paige. Inside to Butler, and it's stolen away by Bartkey. Bartkey, nice job to get that steal inside, and Kuhlman will bring it forward. Kuhlman looking for a screen from Bartkey. She gives it over to Bistadu. Bistadu trying to go inside to Caitlin Lattimore, but that pass is off the mark. It was a good play set up because Caitlin Lattimore was wide open underneath the basket. Just a pass just off the mark there on that one, and there'll be another turnover for the Vikings. Self-inflicted wounds here for North Branch. They're going to have to find a way to make sure they don't have any more of those. On the far side, Hughes again drives baseline, but Bartkey is there. Give inside now to Garanson, and Caitlin Lattimore is going to get the foul, her fourth, and she'll sit for a good chunk of time now with her fourth. Yeah. Riley Garanson will sit, or will shoot two now. First one's good by Riley Garanson. Damiani will check in for Caitlin Lattimore. So 43-37 now. Riley Garanson, second one is good as well. 2 of 2 that trip, 44-37, 7-point difference now for the Vikings. Bistadu has it. She looks to bring it up the court, gives it off to Damiani. Damiani wanted to go to Folkema. Said she'll pull it down, looks for a screen from Bartkey. Now she's going to drive inside, put up a shot well too strong, and Paige Garanson will get the rebound. She'll bring it forward. She'll stop at the top of the key. No, drifts back to the North Branch logo. Give off to Hughes. Going inside to Butler. Butler shot, no good. Great defense there by Bartkey, and it was rebounded by Folkema. And Folkema had it poked out, but she'll get it back. Now she gives it over to Damiani in the offensive zone. Damiani trying to drive. Go pass inside to Kuhlman. Over to Bistadu. Now Folkema. Folkema trying to go inside to Kuhlman, and we finally get a foul call on the Lumberjacks. They'll get this one on Hughes. Her first. Team's first of the second half. Kuhlman. You can set to him. I will give it near side to Bistadu. She thought about three. Pulls it down. Lost it off her own foot. Gives it back out to Kuhlman. Kuhlman gets around the defender. A nasty, nasty move. And then she hits a three. 44-40. Hughes give over to Riley Garanson. Back to Hughes. Now over on the near side, Riley Garanson trying to get the drive on Bistadu. Shot is up. No good. Bartkey with the rebound for North Branch. Give to Kuhlman. Kuhlman crosses Bartkey to get to the far side. Kuhlman looking for a screen. Give over to Damiani. She thought about three. Pulls it down. Steps inside for two. It's good. Damiani with a nice nifty move, and it's 44-42. If the Vikings can get this tied and then maybe get a lead, that momentum will be swung heavily. Inside they'll go to Butler. Bartkey there. Shot is up, and oh my goodness, you couldn't pay the rim to give a better roll than that. 46-42 on the score from Butler. Kuhlman with it now, gets around the defender. Pull up from the free throw line is no good. Give to Riley Goranson on the rebound. Up the court quickly, Page on the far side, working on Damiani. She gets the baseline, but Bartkey was there. We're going to get a foul. Need to hear it. Damiani with it. Her second, team's fourth. Riley Goranson at the line for two. Shot is no good from Page on the first. Bridge will come in for Riley Goranson, and then, no, that's just the one sub. Page good on the second. So 1 and 2 make it 47-42, a 5-point difference. Kuhlman with the ball. Brings it into the offensive zone, gives to Bistadu. Bistadu waiting patiently, trying to get the play set up. It's tipped, but Bartkey winds up coming down with the pass. That is huge because that was about to be a steal for Cloquet, but nice job there by Bartkey to follow that ball and get it back and then drop it in for two. Great effort. Now on the far side, they'll give it to Turner, and near side to Bridge. Bridge going inside to Butler. Her shot is up, no good. And rebound by Paige Goranson. I don't know how she came out of there with that rebound, but great job. Shot now is no good for three, and Folkema grabs the rebound. Trying to get it up the court to Damiani. Damiani, no numbers there for her. Goes inside, Bartkey. Beautiful feed from Damiani to Joanna Bartkey to drop it in for two, and it's 47-46. Great job by this North Branch offense to get the breakout pass up to Damiani. Then Damiani finds Bartkey cutting to the basket for two. A timeout called by North Branch. It'll be 30. 30-second timeout. That will allow us to keep it here in the second half. A 1-point difference, Vikings trailing, but they're getting that momentum now swung back in their favor, and they're starting to pull it back. They're starting to get this game to swing their way, and this is exactly what they need. 11 minutes to go in the game, 47-46. Vikings trail by one, but again, you can kind of see this Vikings defense, their heads are starting to pick up a little bit more. The body language is starting to be a little bit more positive, and they're starting to get their offense rolling. Defense is starting to get a little bit more aggressive, but in a good way. They're not being too aggressive, getting those unnecessary fouls. They're playing aggressively and not drawing fouls and then getting rebounds off the glass. And I mean, it's just they're really doing a good job defensively, and it's all starting to fall their way. Hughes with it, gets around. Oh, she's got numbers the other way. Bridge inside. Here is the North Branch defense, and we get a travel there on Paige Goranson, and that will be a turnover. A great job by the North Branch defense to double her up, not allow her anything, and then force the travel call. Kuhlman up on the far side brings it up. Looking, being patient, gives it off to Bistadu now. Bistadu with it. Gives it top key to Damiani. Damiani looking, wants to go inside to Bartkey, just not confident enough to give it over to her. Bistadu for three, just off the mark. And a rebound there by Butler. Give to Hughes. Hughes will look to the coach to try and get the play call on this near side. That's where the play call will start. Again, got to watch that baseline drive. She'll give it on the far side to Paige Goranson. Now to Bridge. Bridge back to Page. Gives over to Turner. Turner looking, give to Hughes now. Hughes holding on to it. Now 9 seconds to shoot. On the far side for Paige Garanson. Now back to Butler. 4 to shoot, 3 to shoot. A long 3 from Hughes. Off the mark, but it's going to fall right into the hands of Bridge for the rebound. Hughes will drive inside and get it to fall. Cannot have that type of play if you're the Vikings right now. Kuhlman with it off the inbound from Folkema. Up on the far sideline. Trying to use that speed to get around the defender. Inside. Beautiful feed to Bartkey again for 2. I don't know how Kuhlman even saw her. She had her back to her. Somehow just knew she was going to be there. 49-48. Under 9.5 to go. Hughes with it on the far side. Guarded well by Kuhlman. Give to Bridge. Bridge back to Hughes. Driving baseline shot. No good. Rebound by Kuhlman. Kuhlman got some blockers basically in front of her from her teammates, but now she'll give it off to Bistadu. Had a shot, but quickly the defense is there. Damiani will now be patient. Go inside. Bartkey again. Shot is good from Bartkey, and the Vikings have taken the lead back 50-49. It's taken 12 minutes game time, but the Vikings finally have the lead. Now inside, a steal from Bartkey, and then she draws a foul. And the foul there is going to go against Natty Butler, her second, the team's second of the half. Caitlin Lattimore back into the game for the Vikings, 8:35 to go. A couple subs on the other side for Cloquet. Folkema will wait, and she'll give it in now to Damiani. Damiani slowing it down. Now she's in some trouble with the double team, but gives it off to Folkema. Folkema on the near sideline. Spin move back, gets the ball. Now to Kuhlman, Kuhlman gives to Damiani on the far side. Pass inside to Bartkey. Just off the mark, but they draw the foul. Great job by, again, feeding Bartkey inside. They draw the foul, and Bartkey's at the line for 2. Another foul there on Butler. It'll be her third. Bartkey for 2. Good on the first. 51-49. And that's good as well. 2 for 2 from Bartkey. It's 52-49. But quickly up the other way, Hughes again found an open lane to drive. And rebound by Kuhlman. Kuhlman with the rebound, draws the foul. It'll be the 4th, and the 4th on Butler. Ooh, now Butler might have to sit some time. We'll see. They'll leave her in there for now. But that's her 4th. 8:08 to go. Great job by Kuhlman to stronghold that ball to draw the foul on the rebound. Damiani trying to get up the court. Nice spin move back and forth into Kuhlman. Kuhlman, short on the 2. Rebound there for Hughes. Up the court quickly to Riley Garanson, now on the near side. Give here to Page, underneath to Bridge, and that ball's out of bounds. Turnover back to North Branch. We'll get a brand new player in for the Lumberjacks here. First time in is number 11. Ooh, I don't have her name on the roster. I apologize. So we have an unnamed player in there for Cloquet. Kuhlman gets by the defender. They've got numbers up the other way. Going into Caitlin Lattimore. Back to Bartkey. Bartkey in for 2. Are you kidding me with that passing, North Branch? You can't ask for much better. That is perfect execution on that one. Back up the other way. Hughes trying to go with it. Lost the ball, and it's stolen away by Folkema. Kuhlman, she's feeling it now, and is this offense. 7:30 to go. Kuhlman, near side. Damiani did the smart thing. Pulled it down. Kuhlman, 3! 57-49, and a timeout called by Cloquet. Oh, my heavens. The Vikings are just pouring it on. A timeout called here by North Branch. It'll be a full timeout. We'll take a commercial break.
At Burnett Dairy Cooperative, we're more than just your local dairy. We're also a trusted propane provider, serving homes, farms, and businesses across northwestern Wisconsin and east central Minnesota. Whether you need a tank installed or reliable delivery, we're here for you 365 days a year with flexible options that fit your needs. As a farmer-owned cooperative, we're committed to supporting our community because your home and farm deserve the best. Call 715-689-1032 to learn more. Burnett Dairy Propane, serving you with pride every day of the year.
You gotta stop somewhere, so make a stop into the Holiday Station store in Pine City and start saving. Right now, grab CK Oil, save $2 when you buy 2, or CK Diesel DEF treatment for only $23.99. While you're at Holiday, they still have the $3, $4, $5 meal deals on some of your favorite items, and Refresh Team Spirit with Mountain Dew are 3 for $6, or Celsius, buy one get one free. Whoa, better get into the Freeway Holiday Station store in Pine City.
Out of the timeout by North Branch, they have a 57-49 lead. They have absolutely dominated these last 6 minutes, about 4 or 5 minutes of basketball, but man, oh man, what a good run for the Vikings here it has been. Now can they continue it and keep it going? Hughes will have it. She's got the lane. Barkey there. Shot is no good, but a big rebound there for Riley Garanson. This ball's knocked out of bounds by Cloquet, and it's going to go back to the Vikings. Folcombe now inbound, wants to go to Kuhlman. Kuhlman finally finds a way around the defender to get the inbound. Kuhlman quickly up the court to Barkey again, through some contact, no good on the first. Gets the rebound and drops it in for 2. Oh my goodness, she is on fire right now. Hughes will take it up for the Lumberjacks. Under 7 to go, gives near side. Oh, a brand new player in again for the Lumberjacks. That's number 12, that's Tanique Moose underneath the basket. And in for 2, Paige Garanson. So now the scoring end runs for the Vikings, 59-51. On the far side, Kuhlman has it for the Vikings. She'll take the 3 over everybody. It's no good. And unfortunate happenstance there. Riley Garanson gets the rebound. Then up the court, they try to get it over to Moose, but that is out of her reach, and it will go back to the Vikings on a turnover. Folcombe will get set to inbound. Does to Kuhlman. Oh, Kuhlman almost had the angle there on the defender, but pulls back, lets the offense get in front and get set. Now waiting for a screen from Barkey. Barkey tried to drive inside, but just not there on that one. Caitlin Lattimore says, hey, I got an open shot. That shot will be no good, and it should be Viking ball. It will be knocked out of bounds by Cloquet. Great job by Damiani on that far side to realize the Cloquet member had touched it out. Kuhlman will inbound. Looking, she'll give it into Barkey. Barkey, gonna drive. A floater, no good, but she drew the foul. 5th team foul on Cloquet. I think they're gonna get 11. (59-51). Barkey, oh, no good on the first. Oh, lane violation on the Lumberjacks. That is huge. Redo there, but it's still going to be no good. Barkey with the second, and that one's no good as well. So unfortunately missed them both, and it was Riley Garanson with the rebound again. Give over to Hughes. Oh, no, left alone. Can't do that, but luckily that shot is no good. Kuhlman will grab the rebound. Kuhlman quickly up the court to Folcombe. Folcombe pauses, waits, gives it back to Kuhlman. Kuhlman trying to drive. Gives it over now. Damiani. Underneath is Kuhlman. Kuhlman, shot is good. Underneath for 2. It's 61-51. Under 5.5 to go. On the far side to Garanson, now underneath. That ball's up for grabs. That's out of bounds. Oh, my goodness. Oh, they had that ball out of bounds. And That is Lattimore's 5th. Oh, my goodness. So Lattimore's afternoon is over early. Bistadu will come into the game. That's a tough foul there. I thought Cloquet was out of bounds, but not so, according to the referees who have the better angle because they're on the court. So I'm not gonna say that that was a bad call because I'm not on the court for that one. With it is Butler. Now she's guarded well. Then inside, jump ball, and the arrow is pointing the way of the Lumberjacks, though. Lumberjacks will hold on to it. Lumberjacks didn't even realize that it's still their ball. .5:12 to go, 61-51, North Branch with the lead. Inbound here to Butler. Butler on the near side, guarded by Folkema. She's trying to drive baseline. Then it Folkema can't believe it. She can't believe it. She got the steal, but they're going to get her for a foul. Oh, my goodness. She got the steal, and they got her for a foul. They must have called her for, I don't know. It's a foul call, nonetheless. A 3 there. A nice shot by Riley Goranson. That was a good turnaround shot. That takes a lot of skill. They're going to try and full court pressure, but Kuhlman, she says, I'll get out of it. Don't worry. Now give to Bartkey inside. She's fouled again. Great feed by Kuhlman. They're going to get on Riley Goranson, her 3rd, team's at 6th. And Bartkey at the line to shoot 2. No good on the first, excuse me. So no good on the first. This one, no good. Rebounded there by Butler. Paige Goranson with it. On the far side, guarded by Bistadu, gives it to Turner, excuse me. Back to Paige, now to Riley. Riley going to drive inside. Bartkey with the defense. Shot is no good, and Kuhlman pulls it down with the rebound. Kuhlman gives near side to Folkema. Folkema over to, tried to get it over, and then the ball is, somehow saved by Hughes. They're going to it'll be a steal, unfortunately. A 3 on the far side for Turner, and that's good. And then, now all of a sudden, momentum has kind of evened out. Vikings a little bit cold here offensively, and Kuhlman draws the foul. She'll go to line and shoot 2. 7th team foul now on Cloquet. Look at this one on Paige Goranson, her first. 3:57 to go. Kuhlman's up and good on the first. 62-57. And Kuhlman's second one, good as well. 63-57. Pass up to Butler, and Butler was guarded well, bothered by the defense. Now over to Turner. We'll get a timeout by Cloquet. That's their 3rd. They'll be left with 2. And it's going to be a 30-second. We'll keep it here. 63-57. Vikings holding on to a slim lead right now over the Lumberjacks in this important section matchup here. 7-3A matchup. The winner will more than likely have the number 3 seed in the playoffs because, again, the winner would have the tiebreaker. This, again, a very important matchup. Cloquet's 3-3 in the section. North Branch 3-2, trying to make it up to 4-2. This, again, their first matchup on the season, their only matchup on the season. So, again, this is of the utmost importance for the Vikings. They need a big win here tonight. Again, back-to-back games. They played last night against Becker, so not only did they play last night, they were on the road. So it has been a tough 12, 15 hours for them. Hughes will get it now on the give from Riley Garanson. Hughes, a little too much there from Damiani. That'll be her third. Oh, they got Kuhlman for it. So Hughes is at the line, I think, for a 1-and-1. This one's up and no good. And the rebound grabbed by Kuhlman. Kuhlman gets it back out of the foul. She gives it up to Bistadu. And a kickball trying to go inside to Bartkey, but the kickball call will give the Vikings a break there. And thankfully, because if that was not a kickball, that ball would have been Cloquet's, but Bartkey was wide open inside. Now, Folkema had to tie her shoe, but we're ready to go again. Bistadu trying to find a way to inbound. She does get it to Kuhlman for 3. That's huge. 66-57. Kuhlman with a big 3. Under 3.5 to go on the near side. Paige Garanson gives to Hughes. Hughes goes underneath. Oh, my goodness. Left alone, but Turner can't hold on to the ball, and it's stolen away by Bistadu. Well, that's a big turnover, and the Vikings, you talk about catching a break. That's a big one because Turner was wide open underneath the basket. Would have been an easy 2. Kuhlman give to Bistadu, and then back to Kuhlman, but it's knocked out of bounds by Paige Garanson. It will stay with the Vikings. Now under 3 minutes to go. Bistadu looking to inbound. We'll go back to Damiani. Damiani pulls it down. Screen from Bartkey. Driving. Give to Kuhlman, and Kuhlman keeps it from going out of bounds. Pull up 3. Good! She is just so cool, calm, collected with that 3. I mean, it looks like, oh, she's just going to dribble. Then she's so quick with her motion to pull up for that 3. I mean, there's not many like her that can do that. Riley Garanson gives to Paige, trying to go inside, and then it's knocked out. Oh, my goodness! They're going to get a foul. Just a good play there, I thought, by Folkema, but they'll get Kuhlman apparently for it. Her third, team's 8th, and Natty Butler's at the line to shoot a 1-and-1. I didn't see that one. Thought it was going to be called on Folkema, but they got it on Kuhlman instead. Butler no good. Rebound by Garanson. 3 here from Hughes as well, short. But then rebounded again by Garanson. Now a 3 is no good again. And this rebound by Turner. Vikings cannot allow this to happen on the far side. Paige Garanson for 3. That one, rattles in and out, and another lucky break there for the Vikings. Damiani will get the rebound. Oh, they needed that. They were allowing way too many second, third, and fourth chance opportunities for scoring as we dip under 2 minutes to go. Damiani looking, trying to find somebody open, but now she just drives herself on the baseline. We'll give it back to Bistadu. Bistadu, she'll back it out on the far side. And now give to Kuhlman. Kuhlman, 2 is good. And Kuhlman has just kind of taken over right now. 71-57, 1:43 to go. And the Vikings will call a timeout. That'll be their third. They'll be left with 2. It will be a 30-second timeout, full. So while they take one, we'll take one as well.
Embrace Orthodontics offers a unique specialized approach to orthodontic treatment with custom braces or Invisalign. The team at Embrace loves getting to know their patients personally and takes the time to make sure all your questions are answered. Their board-certified orthodontists use only the latest in modern technology to give you the best outcome possible. They work with your insurance company and offer flexible financing options to fit your budget. Call today to set up your free exam and see how Embrace Orthodontics can transform your smile. More online at embracemn.com. That's embracemn.com.
And here's the pitch.
Here's the pitch, the premier indoor batting cages in North Branch. Whether you're trying to make the team or take the team to the next level, Here's the Pitch has state-of-the-art pitching machines for both baseball and fast-pitch softball. $35 gets you cage time with your own pitcher. $40 gets you cage time using one of their top-tier pitching machines. Screens, plates, helmets, they've got the equipment, you provide the batter. Find Here's the Pitch on Facebook or visit here'sthepitchmn.com. here'sthepitchmn.com. Each team only has 2 timeouts left, 1:40 to go. Tanique Moose. Almost a travel call. This ball is up for grabs. It's going to be Viking ball. Moose tried to give it over to Turner, and it went through her legs, and it goes back to the Vikings, 136 on that Embrace Orthodontic scoreboard, 71-57. Kuhlman with it. She'll bring it up the court. Slows it down a little bit, gives it over. Now on this near side to Damiani. Damiani looking. She wanted to go to Bisto. At the top of the key, she does give it to her. Now on the far side, Kuhlman. Kuhlman waiting, looking. And now she'll give it to Damiani. Damiani nearly had it stolen away. So we're going to have a conversation at the center court. She was bumped and it was tipped, so it shouldn't be an over and back. I think that's the conversation right now. If anything, get a foul call, but it should be Viking ball. Oh, they're going to call an over and back. The ball was tipped. It can't be an over and back if the ball was tipped. And I think what Lattimore's saying is she was pushed, too. Well, not sure of that one, but we'll stick with it. Again, we got to appreciate the refs for being here. They're taking time out of their free time to do this. Shot from Moose. Oh, nice job. And Tanique Moose to get that one to fall. 57-59. Well up the court. Bartkey wide open for 2. And just adding an extra dagger to this one. 73-59. On the far side, Bridge with it. Trying to go inside to Butler, and she puts it up for 2. 73-61. Kuhlman gives it up to Damiani. Under a minute to go, 40 seconds now. Trying to go inside to Bartkey, nearly stolen away there. That by number 2. I don't know who number 2 is. Don't have it on the roster. Madison Lemire is in the game. Vikings will get set to inbound. That's Bistadu looking, gives it to Folkema. Folkema will dribble out of the elbow. Now give to Kuhlman. Inside. Oh, surprising no foul call, but she gets her own rebound and will draw the foul there. 8th foul on Cloquet. Madison Lemire with her first. Team's 8th. 30 seconds. And Kuhlman, good on that one. Guess we'll add more. 74-61. Another one. 2 more for Kuhlman to make it 75-61, and that will pretty much do it. The Vikings, nice comeback here in this one. Long 2 there for Tanique Moose. Well, they're going to call it a 3. Well, 64-75 for the Vikings. Damiani on the far side. Gives it up to Bistadu, 8-7. And Bistadu on that far side. Driving baseline. Get a timeout late here by the Vikings. Yeah, Bistadu was just in a lot of trouble on the baseline. And instead of risking a turnover, Lattimore's going to call the timeout, and they'll inbound, and that will pretty much seal it. So a timeout called there by Lattimore, and this just kind of to preserve the possession because the Bistadu had a lot of trouble there on the baseline. She got into a double team and was in danger of losing the ball. So called timeout to preserve the possession, but once they inbound, that will pretty much do it. And the players will get back out there, will inbound, and that will do it. So Bistadu just getting ready to inbound, and Bistadu inbound to Bartkey, and that's going to do it. 75-64, the Vikings get the victory here in this one. A terrific comeback by the Vikings in this second half. They led for the final 9 minutes of the half to take a 75-64 important section victory. We're going to get a commercial break to hear word from our fine sponsors. Then we'll be back to recap this one and possibly an interview with head coach Joe Lattimore. You're listening to Girls Basketball on Nice 95.5.
Hey there, sports fans. Brad here from Lee's Pro Shop in Pine City, and we have a Lee's Crazy Sale going on. It's time to gear up for hockey, basketball, wrestling, or volleyball equipment, as it is all 20% off. That's right, 20% off all your favorite hockey, basketball, wrestling, and volleyball equipment. Whether you're a beginner or a pro, Lee's Pro Shop has everything you need to take your game to the next level. So don't wait. Stop by Lee's Pro Shop today. Save big on your favorite sports equipment. Hurry in for Lee's Crazy Sale. Lee's Pro Shop, where the passion for sports begins.
A&W Restaurant Pine City is still making fresh root beer, that signature item since 1919. It's still made fresh and on-site with real cane sugar and a blend of secret ingredients. It doesn't get any better than this. Their world-renowned A&W root beer is a classic treat, and they can top it off with creamy vanilla soft serve to be known as the famous A&W root beer float. Now that's smooth, tasty, and refreshing. An American iconic A&W root beer float. It never tasted so good. A&W Restaurant Pine City. Come grab your root beer float today.
Untangling your headphones, finding the right remote, saying goodbye to your favorite shirt that hasn't fit in 10 years. Why are simple things sometimes so complicated? Thankfully, with auto owners, insurance doesn't have to be one of them. Auto Owners works with independent agents who live in your community and answer when you call, so you can worry about more important things, like finding a new favorite shirt. That's simple human sense.
Contact your local auto owners agency, Pine Insurance Agency, at pineagency.us today.
Hey there, neighbors. Matt Winsand, CEO Burnett Dairy. Farmers are the people that wake up before the sun, who battle the elements, and tend to their crops and herds with a passion that runs deep in their veins. At this time, I would personally like to thank the farmers. From all of us at Burnett Dairy Cooperative to all of our incredible farmers, thank you. Burnett Dairy Cooperative. Real farms, real flavor.
Arrowhead Transit, your community, your ride. Arrowhead Transit is proud to support this station and bring you reliable public transportation in your community. Whether you need to get to work, school, or the doctor's office, our friendly drivers and comfortable buses are here to serve you. We're committed to connecting communities and making transportation accessible for everyone. Arrowhead Transit is your community partner in getting around. Arrowhead Transit is a supporting sponsor of the station and is dedicated to supporting our local communities.
Back here on Nice 95.5 FM KBEK, the final in this one, the Vikings beat the Lumberjacks 75-64. Get you some quick stats here from both sides. For the Lumberjacks, leading the way was Hughes with 16, 15 then for Butler. Both Gransons had 10. Then 6 for Sarah Turner, 5 for Moose, and 2 for Kavanaugh. 13 rebounds for Maddie Butler to lead the team. She had a double-double. They had 9 steals. They were 9 of 21 from the free throw line and had 12 team fouls. On the side of your Vikings, leading the way was, no doubt, Ella Kuhlman with 37, then 16 for Joanna Barkey. All of those points coming in the second half. 8 for Folkema, 7 for Damiani, and then 3 for Bistadu, 2 for Annabelle Lattimore and Caitlin Lattimore. 10 rebounds for Kuhlman to lead the team, and she had a double-double. Then they had 7 steals, 1 block. They were 8 of 12 from the free throw line and had 19 team fouls. So a good second half. Again, they led for 13 minutes of that first half until about late in that first half. Then they gave it up, and then they trailed for 12 minutes game time before getting the lead back here at about 9 minutes to go in this second half, and they led from there on out, and they really turned the heat up offensively, and then the pressure defensively was just incredible. So 75-64 win for the Vikings to help them and probably secure that number 3 seed in their section playoffs. They moved to 4-2 in the section, 12-7 overall. Again, their section playoffs begin Wednesday, February 26th, and then it will be semifinals on March 1st and the championship for the section on March 6th. As we take a look at the bracket, no one gets a bye in this section. It is 1 through 8, but if you get a 3 or 4 seed, you get a home game. So the higher the seed, the better for North Branch right now. They'd be on the opposite side. They'd be at they're right now at 3, so they would get to host the 6th team. They would host Grand Rapids, a team who they've already beat this year. So, and then if that were the case, if they were to win, they would go and play the number 2 seed, which would be either Hermantown or Rockridge. It looks more or less like Hermantown's got that pretty much locked up. Then if they win that, they'd go to the championship game. So, playoffs just around the corner, but a big win here for North Branch to pretty much secure the number 3 seed in the playoffs, which, again, is huge because that 3 seed, it means they get to get a little bit more better better play in the playoffs. So 75-64, and we will get our interview with head coach Joe Lattimore here. We'll get us all connected, and then we'll get that interview started here. But again, another nice win for the North Branch Vikings in this one over Cloquet, a section win here. So now joined by head coach Joe Lattimore. And first of all, congratulations on the win.
Thanks, Game Day. It was a really tough battle going forward there. Both teams really needed this game, especially for section seeding purposes. So it was a little rough first half for us. Some things that we needed to clean up at halftime, and I thought the girls came out and did a great job in the second half and did what we needed to do to be successful. Yeah, you led for a good chunk of that first half, but gave up the lead late there, and then there were some turnovers. But what was the message to the girls at halftime? Well, the message was just that we need to be just play smarter, right? One of the two things that we were focused on is like our attitude and our effort. So if we had great attitude, that's the mental piece of it. And we just kind of made some mistakes. We in that first half, we got in some big foul trouble there in the first half. So we had 3 of our starters with foul trouble, 2 of them with 3 fouls. So it was trying to kind of manage that the rest of the game. And luckily for us, only one of them fouled out in the second half. But just trying to manage that piece there. And I thought, our bench players came in and did a great job. Maria Damiani, she came in and just did a phenomenal job playing defense, distributing. Ashley Bissadu played a great game as well, one of our starters. And we've had some injuries kind of hit us here. The bug kind of hit us here, so we're asking some girls to play some different roles than that they were used to. And so number 22, Annabelle Lattimore, came in and gave us some great minutes in that first half when we needed just to kind of get some bodies out there so we could compete. And I thought they did a great job. Yeah, they certainly did. And coming out in the second half, a little bit of a tough start to the second half. It seemed like the confidence had taken a hit. What was the message to the girls to try and get their confidence back up? Because as we know, later in the second half, things started going your way. Well, I think in that first half there, Game Day, we had good looks. We just didn't make them. And I think kind of in that second half, that it started out that way. We had a couple of, not great turnovers. But then we started to hit some shots. So, and I think that was key. Some of our girls got some shots up. We were able to knock them down. And I think one thing that we've been seeing a lot of is all of the teams really focus on Ella Kuhlman, and as well you should. I think she finished tonight with 37 points. But we've had girls blitzing her, double teams, traps. We've had all sorts of things that we've been going through. So our message was like, our other girls, hey, let's step up. And, one that did a great job tonight was Joe Barkey on the scoring. Just we're able to get that pick and roll running, and she was able to slip it, and she was able to knock down those shots, which was huge for us. And then Bella Folkman, our other post, she's just a workhorse. She's our do all everything. Like she's a post, but we have to ask her to bring the ball up sometimes when they're trying to take away Ella. So, and in the second half, what they really did is they really went to number 33. As I look for her name, Natty Butler. She was doing a great job. She was killing us inside. And so we just did a little bit of a switch to our defense there, and we put Bella on her, and she contained her the rest of the game and really did a nice job with that. So she just kind of does everything we need to do. So like I told the girls, it was a great team effort to get this win here today. It certainly was, and one of the things that I was impressed with here in the second half, you guys did a really good job rebounding the ball better than the first half and not allowing the Lumberjacks those second chance scoring opportunities, which wound up turning into more points for you guys. So what is it like to see that your team be able to go from trailing and then flip the switch like that, and just the defense was really impressive, kind of shutting them down late? Yeah, the girls kind of took it upon themselves to, we have some basic principles that we need to follow, and sometimes we just weren't following them great in the first half, and they were able to do that in the second half, and they were able to really keep the ball where we needed it to be contained, and then just finding bodies. That's one thing that we've been really working on, is rebounding lately, just because those second and third chance points just kill us, as we saw down the end there. I mean, we'd built a 13-point lead, whatever it was, or 10-point lead, and then long shot, long rebound, they get it. Long shot, long rebound, they get it. Long shot, they make it. So it's like, just those extra possessions that they had. But then when we were able to secure the rebound and they were trying to dig the ball out from our perimeter players, we had girls streaking down the court wide open, and we were able to get some of those easy looks too. So that was good to see. And we talked before how this team had a game last night on the road, no less, in Becker. So it looked like some of the fatigue had set in, but they powered through, and they played so well down the stretch in this game. Talk about this team's resilience, because it has shown all year long. Thanks, Game Day. That's a huge compliment, just because that's things that we talk about. One of the things that we had last year is we always had these games that were what-ifs.
Mm-hmm.
We had a game where we were leading at the half, or we had a lead going in, and we just weren't able to kind of just secure those leads and victories. So that's the one thing that this team's really focused on is we talked about at halftime. It's hey, we're down 5. Well, we've been up more than that before and lost. No big deal. 5 points is not a big deal. So it's just their mental, attitude that we are bringing to it night in and night out. And it was a tough game last night. We had a conference heavyweight in Becker. They might be down a little bit, but they still got, they got players up and down their roster. So, playing in that game last night and then turning around right away and playing. And, we've talked about this with the girls earlier in the year, too. It's if you want to go to state, this is stuff that you got to do. You'll have to play on a Thursday night and might have to play Friday morning. So it's a big turnaround. But the girls were prepared. They were ready for it. And just really proud of their effort today.
Yeah, it was really impressive to see. The next game you'll have is right back here at home on Tuesday against Chisago Lakes, another big conference game for you guys. Obviously enjoy this one, but then what's the message to the girls about getting ready for that one?
Well, it's just about building, right? Chisago is it's a conference foe, it's a section foe, it's a longtime rival. So, their girls are always ready to play against us. We want to play them too, so it'll be good to see over here. Coaching change, so it'll be interesting to see how they play. So that's what we'll look at now and see what they're doing offensively, defensively to get ready for that one. They've got some really good young players that can shoot, so we have to be ready for that. So we'll get our work in Monday, have that game Tuesday, and then next week it's we have that one. Cambridge is here, and then Saturday we go up to Hibbing for another section game. So that'll be the end of our section games that we have to play. So we're looking really forward to building on what we have. So now we got 1. Let's go get 2. Let's go get 3. Let's go get 4. So at the end, if we can just start building that confidence for the end of the year, for playoffs, that'll help us a lot.
No doubt. Well, Coach, I thank you so much for joining us. Congrats on the win here, and I think I'll be back here on Tuesday to call that game.
Awesome. We'd love to have you here, Game Day. Appreciate all your help and what you do for our high school sports in the area.
Awesome. Thank you so much. That, again, is head coach Joe Lattimore, the head coach of the North Branch Vikings. Again, they win this one 75-64 over the Cloquet Lumberjacks. Again, an important section win for them, all but securing that number 3 seed for them in the playoffs, and that will be huge for them going forward. So a big win for the Vikings here this afternoon, 75-64. That moves them again to 12-7 as they get ready for next week of play. I mean, next week is huge. He mentioned it. It's not an easy stretch down these last 8 games. They beat Cloquet today, but it doesn't stop. I mean, it continues as they will play Chisago on Tuesday. Then they got Cambridge Thursday, and then they head up to Hibbing. And then it's all conference. Then they got Zimmerman at home, Princeton on the road, Monticello and St. Francis at home. So those are big games to end the season. They're important games, obviously, but man, oh man, do they have some really important games coming down the stretch. And you heard Coach Lattimore talk about it. Just building off of what they did here this evening or this afternoon and trying to keep that momentum going forward. And, man, this team's resiliency is so impressive. Once they get into playoffs, that is going to play a big factor in how well they do. I mean, there's not a lot of teams that can do it, but this is one of those teams. So I want to thank you all for tuning in here this afternoon. Thanks so much. If you're listening to this game on our YouTube, be sure to like and subscribe to the YouTube page. That way you are notified every single time that we go live with a local sporting event. And that way you'll never miss a thing. And not only that, if you're subscribed, you'll get the notification when we go live. So that way you won't have to worry about knowing about it. You'll know. But, again, that's one way to stay tuned. And I want to thank all the fine sponsors who sponsored this and every other broadcast that we do. Appreciate them. If it weren't for them, we wouldn't be able to be out here, so we appreciate them. Again, the final is the Vikings 75, Lumberjacks 64. If you want to stay tuned to all things local sports in our local listening area, a great way to do that is on our morning shows. On this morning show with Rock and Robin Riley at 7:30 and 8:30, Monday through Friday. Then over on 100.9 FM with Josh Amiron, again, Monday through Friday at 7:45 and 8:45. We'll talk about this game and all the other games we have or have had on our local stations. And also we'll talk some regional sports and national as well because, not so much going on right now. We got the Wild and the Timberwolves who finally seem like they're getting back on in their way, but we got more things to talk about too. Plus, Another way to stay tuned is our websites, kbk.com, wcmpradio.com. Go to the sports tab, click on broadcast schedule. That's where you'll find all the links that we'll have for the games that we'll be covering that week. It's updated every Monday afternoon, but it is subject to change. Another way you can stay tuned is our social medias, our Facebook for both stations, Instagram for both stations, and our Twitter at WCMP Radio for all things local sports. On our websites and social medias, we'll have interviews with players and coaches. We'll have articles from games that we've been at and recapped. We'll have breaking sports news, coaches, retiring coaches being hired, players signing their LOIs, broken records, all that and much, much more on our social medias and our website. So stay tuned to those. Follow, like, subscribe, do whatever you got to do to make sure that you're up to date with all things local sports. Again, the final here in this one, Vikings get a much-needed section win over the Cloquet Lumberjacks, 75-64. The next game they'll have is a doubleheader here at home on Tuesday against Chisago Lakes, and we'll be out at that one, so stay tuned for that. Once again, I want to thank you so much for tuning in. Thank all the fine sponsors, and remember, be kind to everyone. You never know what someone is going through, and your kindness could truly make their day. Not just their day, it could really change their week, even their month. You'd be surprised what just a small act of kindness can do. It doesn't have to be something huge, extravagant, but as little as holding a door for someone. That's all it takes. I mean, that's it takes so little to make people's day, to be kind. We need more of it in today's world. But that is going to do it for me, ladies and gentlemen. Game Day Gilman here on KBK Nice 95.5. I want to again wish you a great rest of your Saturday and a great rest of your weekend. If you're driving, drive safe. It is snowing out there.